an example when particularly like one coming through irreligiosity. I think that's the word. I learned that word in the leader book, talking about, there's certain spaces you can get up from within the game or within your spiritual ascension. You have a ceiling. Like if you go through religion, like it stops you at a certain point because you're giving outside of self. And when I say ancestors that who brought that or who perpetuated within the family, say grandmother, great grandmother, and you found that wasn't a necessity for growth spiritually. And sometimes you can also place blame. Oh, my grandma took me to church every weekend, but it's like not. She did the best she know by you by trying to give you some type of sense of self or God or spirituality, the best she knew with the best she had. So you give thanks, because even that, giving having the force to go further than that, or expand further from that, you give thanks, from the space. And again, it was no thanks because everything was happening, everything happens for a reason. You give thanks for the opportunity to share and them doing the best by you, and let them know that you did amazing. I've learned from you so much, from all of you, and I wear you. I give thanks.
Absolutely. And this is why looking at life through the child's eyes and through that innocence is so important, because it's so easy for the child to just be with that elder without having that stream that comes in and tries to break those thoughts that come in and try to break the stream of the moment.
Right.
Where you can just appreciate and you can just be. You're just so present. Be able to give things. So yeah.
And it's interesting, how giving is so important in this all. I think that when we were talking about forgiving and, for gifts, I've never heard that. I really like that. The most interesting thing that I've heard about that is that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself before it is earned or deserved, or even something that you give someone. And so the act of giving thanks and it, coming from inside of you, and then, to the pieces that it goes to is just this giving thing is huge. I also want to just say, and I feel like I'm talking a lot now because when I get comfortable, I can start talking a lot.
Right.
But
say the truth, bro.
I just want to give thanks to the feminine energy, if I can be a little dualistic at this moment, that is here and that has been in, some of the Instagram builds that I've really seen. And even, I think I shared with you when I first started in Tribe. Your womb, although I'm not a woman, I love the womb healing, that you do, and it just gives me another perspective and puts me in a place of balance in a way that I just haven't before. It gives me a huge appreciation for the fullness of this work. So what you all, are teaching me in all of my ignorance is really, really, I just want to give thanks for that. That's one thing I want to make sure I do before, this is over. And then I also must say, to Arset, who, I don't know if she knows, how much I consider her to be my spiritual mother, in a sense. Like there is a
oh my goodness. Oh my, that is an honor.
There's a Seven Bomar on the male end and an Arset on the woman end. And I started, listening to Arset first, and it was when you talk about trees and how your daughter can speak to, the grass. Just to hear that while I'm driving across the country, getting ready, I'm just having quit my job and saying there is something deeper, something higher, something more mysterious in us all, and would have never thought about it ever. And then to even now see you all together interact on our Tribe vibes is, it's beautiful to me because it's the balance, it's just, anyway. So the energy that's here, Veronica, having, met you, in the flesh in Costa Rica with Tierra, and, seeing you know, this is trite, but you know, I think you packed 3 weeks of clothes in one bag.
I did. I'm very proud of that.
Nice.
The resourcefulness, you see what I'm saying? And it's just like, I appreciate when I can be taken beyond where I am into, you know, something totally new and something better. And that's what Tribe has done for me. That is what, you know, the feminine energy is doing for me, even in here. Okay, I'm gonna get uncomfortable and stop talking more.
While that line is open, I'm gonna jump in too, Brother Tim. Thank you for the divine femininity showing up, you know, so amazingly. And specifically, we're coming from the divine masculine perspective, even though we have, you know, both, you know, that's what makes us whole, you know, we say wholeness. That when we say give thanks, a lot of men are divine masculine. It's, I don't know if it's because we don't have a womb, a physical womb, but receiving thanks is definitely something that a lot of men or people or women with a lot of masculine energy, it's hard to receive thanks. You know, when we say thank you, many don't say you're welcome, like, and receive that. They say give thanks back, you know, oh thank you, oh no thank you. You know, it's just like receive the thanks. Take a breath with it and then share it back. It's a lot of people, men specifically, I guess, you know, especially when you talk about, you know, alpha men, because we, you know, send out in different, we stand out in the crowd. So that receiving is many times not even present, you know, within the space. So I give thanks for the divine femininity, you know, happening in abundance, and like Wisby, you know, accepting men, or, you know, a lot of people, oh, this is the woman thing, it's womb healing, we don't take men, we don't do that. But like Tim said, it's so healing even for myself. I think I called the Wisby on some stories that were like, yo, my womb is, my spiritual womb is, you know, doing something, and then coming to her, and then like with this gratitude. So I give thanks. I give thanks.
You're welcome.
Yes. You're welcome. Yes. And say that like you mean it, you know, because I love that. Because even sometimes when, you know, I know even some, I think more so even with women, I see this a lot, just to bring that into the space. Hard to accept compliments when someone says, hey, you look nice, or this or that. Sometimes I see a lot of feminine energy say, well, there's something else, you know, or thank you, but here's the thing, I don't, you know, so there's like that. So even seeing that other side of the receiving on both ends in that way is, it's very interesting. So to like receive what someone is saying, to feel it, and then respond with the feeling, is that true exchange of what that is.
Absolutely.
I think we had, it was a Tribe vibe, but it was a lecture that Stefan had on giving and receiving. This is actually one of the laws in the universe that like it's like Stefan has like the 105 laws somewhere. You know, I've used it a lot. Where it's like the giving and receiving, very important, because you have to know how to give and then how to receive. So like, let's say if you give somebody something and you give it to them, but then like say if you were gonna give someone who's poor, like someone who's asking for charity, and then you give them money, and you're sort of expecting for them to do good with that money, or to go or don't buy drugs with that money, or like, you know, the idea of like, I'm giving you this charity, but it has conditions where you have to be good with it. And what the idea of giving is like, once you give something, that's it. Like, you know, there's no expectation. You have to let go as you give it. You know, and it's the same thing. Is like, as you receive, you have to take it completely, and don't think that you owe the person because they gave you something. And we always tying cords to each other with the give and take, or the giving and receiving, because like you're expecting somebody to be a certain way, or, you know, if you give it to them, or if you take something you think you owe them in return. While in reality, once, you know, like Osad said, when somebody gives you something, you just, you know, say, you just take it, thank you, with both arms open, you know. And this is something I've had to learn, and I think I didn't completely learn until this year, because actually I'm guilty of what Osset said, you know, about like when somebody gives you a compliment and then you say but, and and in my own truth, like, yes, I felt that way. Like if somebody gives you a compliment, sometimes, I feel like, yeah, well, you don't have to say that I'm pretty. I know that already. But at the same time, they really mean it. And I should definitely receive that in its givingness. And so it really was this year when I had the completeness of just saying, yes, receive with both hands open. And, so that I can, truly, that giving thanks and recognize that reflection. So yeah, I definitely recognize that woman in myself that would be saying, oh yeah, or backing up, feeling that you don't deserve what the person is giving, all of that attached to it. As I fully grow into myself, yeah, now I really do. Like, if you're gonna give me money, yeah, my hands are open.
Yeah, and even if you're not gonna give me money, my hands are still open.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know what I mean? And recognizing that it really is the essence of one and the same, and that they go hand in hand. That you literally, it's like everything. You can't have one without the other. You know what I mean? Like you need. It's just the presence. Just to be present in the space and be willing to receive at all times, as you are be willing to give, and even giving when you're not giving, in essence, if that makes sense to you. It's like understanding that sometimes giving might look like not giving, and are you willing to receive that from me? Sometimes giving means like not saying no. and that comes from a true heart-centered decision.
Oh yeah, no is a complete sentence. Yeah.
Complete sentence.
Definitely have to learn this.
I learned that the hard way.
Need to learn how to say no. So Cheryl, you're here, you've been quiet. Are you just enjoying our company, or you want to say something too beautiful?
Right now I'm just enjoying your company.
Love.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Being mindful again, everybody don't give thanks. Everybody don't say you're welcome. So again, when it comes, like receive it, give it. And then when we talk about the frequency, we can hear like because I know women probably experience this more than guys, where somebody might give you a compliment, you look great. You say thank you, and then it's like the door to come in and be like, hey girl, let me get your number, and like, can I go into
space? No.
Right, you say no. Yeah, so again, that having those filters to be able to receive and not like open the doors wide open, But thank you.
Yeah. There's like this as you guys are speaking, I can even sense like it's not even a repeller, it's more so of like when something bounces against something,
The force
right?
field.
Force field, right?
Force field.
It feels like even if it's ancestral, intuitively, it feels like there's something in the ancestral realm that I'm tapping into as you guys are speaking that feels like a subconscious or unconscious belief that life is not, I don't know if I'm tapping into my ancestral stuff, but it feels like it's like a feeling of not feeling worthy to move forward. Like there's this thing here, boom, 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 and I'm feeling it intuitively. So I'm just speaking out loud just to get a hold of that as it's coming through. And I think again, when we go through, even when we're talking about the Hawaiian prayer, just to, as she said, scrub deeply within the cells and the DNA with that prayer. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. But maybe spending even 4 days on each line itself to like really have a deep cleaning with those words. And maybe I'm speaking to myself as I'm speaking to you guys. Because I felt that so deeply and I'm just like, where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? But if that's the case and I'm tapping into that, then if I'm aware of that now, that's like, okay, that needs to, that right there is not my belief consciously. And if that's a subconscious thing, I need to confront it. So just a lot of ancestral stuff is popping up as I'm looking at the prayer right now as well. So I'm just feeling everything right now.
Well,
that was deep.
Veronica knows that I always try not to. I'm like, I'm not reading anybody. I'm not reading. No.
Oh,
yeah.
No. I'm just saying, because she's like, I'm like, because it's like, you know, sometimes you just, you know, you can't help it. So I understand how you feel. You can't help it, and then you just read the room or the energy. Yeah. So to me, like the Ho'oponopono or that meditation itself, if you start doing it like anything else, once you start tapping into that, it just starts to work. It just starts to do its work. And once it starts to do its work, and then of course you're gonna run into blockages. So I've been in meditation when I literally get slapped, you know, wherever it's like, or doors get slammed in my face because let's say, you know, so depending on who, especially like, you know, many of us have father issues. You know, weren't raised by father's missing. So it's of course mother's angry. So then we get really, you know, left out in the cold, really, you know, and there's no entrance into that space. So that's why you have to keep working and keep at it. It is a very deep ancestral work. So yeah, no, you could definitely feel that. You know?
I had a question, and again, I don't know if everybody handles it. No, well, of course, everybody has it slightly different, depends on how they experience their uniqueness. But let's say the progression of energy and motion, or progression of emotions. Like, let's say if you're feeling anger or sadness or remorse or joy, like, is there a cycle that you all, like, you know, from feeling this way, this is the cycle. I was talking to a sister earlier today, and we say emotion not being, you know, emotion is the current, it's moving, it's always moving. You can use that to, you know, ascend, you know, and go into different spaces, or it can take you left, right, up, down, if you're not aware of what direction you want to sail and ride in those emotions. And she said that she was angry at one point, and then from that anger she went into, like, you know, crying and releasing, and then came back around to, you know, finding the balance. So when you're overwhelmed with emotion, like, let's say, I've heard people even say, I feel like I'm drowning, you know, with it, if it felt so heavy. So how do you, is there progression of the movement of energy to get you back to center? Anyway.
Yes. I'm very honest with myself in the process. So if I'm not speaking it out to myself, I'm writing it out in a way to where I'm making sure that when I do express myself, that I do come back to a solution or to a balance point to close that end. So it's not like leaving it open-ended, but it's still important to express the honesty of it, you know, at the same time, because I know what we say manifests. So we have to make sure that we are bringing in the solutions for self. So it's like self-counseling, you know, so that inner elder is counseling that inner child who feels, and that knowledgeable one is coming in and say, well, here's what we need to do. So it's literally like just like that inner conversation. So when I find myself coming to these points emotionally, I just let it go through and I always get back to the point. But it's not really of getting to the point so that I can go back around again in that same cycle. It's just like, let's expand or transcend this once we recognize the patterns enough. So yeah, to answer your question, I do have like that cycle for sure.
I'm curious to know. I'm sorry, who did I cut off?
Go ahead.
Chris, did you have a follow-up?
I was just going to mention about the meditation, because the sister was going about the Ho'oponopono meditation, and I think you were talking about going back through the 7 generations of the lineage, and and how Aset had mentioned that you kind of hit that force field. And I was mentioning that, you know, when I had my first experience with that meditation, and I was going back into the womb, and I was going back into the lineage, and so I did my mother's side and my father's side, and I hit that force field hard when I was going into my father's side. Like, I couldn't get beyond my grandfather. I couldn't get beyond that point. and it was pretty overwhelming in that moment. So I definitely had to take the time to come back around to that later, because I just couldn't get farther back beyond, you know, my grandfather. On my mother's side, I was able to go 7 generations back, but clearly that was where I had, you know, the blockages. But you know, that's the work, and that's where the work, you know.
7 generations is major.
Yeah, that's part of the meditation, to bring it into
that, to me, that's where the work begins.
Right.
Word.
You hit the wall.
You said
it. That's when you like.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's when you start to really dig in, and then so what's great about that is that now the people you start healing will start calling you. You know, will start. You know, just be like, oh wow, like they'll contact you. You'll hear from people. And it just happens, and everyone who's done this, you know, they not only work on the spiritual, but they'll get the real conversations with people, like even like it's that random aunt is gonna contact you. So I mean, just to say, like, so I mean, that's amazing that you're able to feel that also, like, because I usually like I because of me, like I usually try to like, you know,
filter it out.
The reason why I close it out is because I had to, like, you know, if you're a practitioner, like, you know, and then especially if it's natural to you, you know, sometimes it can get overwhelming and you can confuse it for your own feelings. You know, especially that used to be what happened with me when I would be reading other people. I would think it's me. You know, wow, you know, wait a minute, I did all the work. You know, So I've learned, especially like I think there was that one time it was like a room full of people, you know, so that was a lot of psychic energy to be.
Yeah.
You know, so you definitely, you know, want to close out your field. You know, when it comes to ancestral work, it's so profound. It's like it's really. And, you know, like to me, like there shouldn't be like any expectation of what you're going to find, because you can be in space, like I always say, like where it can be like an app. It can be like, you know, that ancestor that was walking on 4 legs or that was crawling. And so it's, you know, there's all sorts of like, you know, but think about it. And I think I don't know, I've said this week, these are the ancestors that make us, you know, being able to learn how to breathe, being able to learn how to walk. And that's all of the memories that we're using now, you know. So however, you know, if they had to go through the fears and through the anger and through the, you know, all of these emotions that we feel, you know, that we sometimes think are hard, but that's the lessons that they had to teach. At this point, so, you know, so reaching forward or reaching back is, you know, is great to be able to do. Sometimes to get that slap. So
check your audio, sis.
Who's that? Me? Is that me?
Yeah,
That's well?
I feel like that's you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Just letting you know.
Okay, I muted Tim. It was Tim.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in because again, I feel like it's Tether. I don't know. It's coming to me with Sister Nika is wearing the same amulet we got this weekend during the within the show, and she reminded me of reflection of self. Within this growth, within this human experience, many people forget. You know, I remember seeing a meme a long time ago. It was like, you know, ego. And it was like a pyramid, and it was like humans on top, and all the other animal kingdom was, you know, down below. And then the other one was, you know, ego in the center, and the human in the center, and all the animals kind of like on the same plane. And we did a ceremony on Saturday. Went by the water. Moon was perfect. Water was, you know, still at this lake. And it was amazing. So we went out there and we were like giving thanks, you know, sharing love. Sister Nick and some other the family was there. And you know, when you feel transparent, when you feel clear, like you answer to your intuition, your impulses. Like if you feel like moving, you know, more, you know, I don't know, snake-like, Now, or you, because we talk about the divine femininity is what's behind the eyes. It's not like the woman, the man, the woman that we know of. It's the divine femininity. So we might feel like a growl, is to give thanks. Let's say if you're a portal, now if you're open to it, like other mothers will communicate through you. And I remember Sister Nika, she was going through an experience, and I could hear different things. And I was like, I'll give thanks. That level of just being able to receive and transmute, and give thanks. I was like, again, I just stood by her and just held space, because I seen the work that she was doing. And I was like, I give thanks. So put you on the spot, Sister Nika, but I gave thanks for you many times over, for that level of clarity.
I've seen her shake that booty on IG. I see you know how I feel about shaking the face.
Speak, sister.
So much love for that space. And like I shared with you, that was like the first time anything like that has ever happened to me. And it has happened to me in very subtle ways, but not to the extent where it happened by that lake. And I think we talked about it in the car, and I was like, I feel like I'm finna be rebirthed this weekend. I feel like I'm finna die and I'm finna be rebirthed this weekend. I told you that in the car. And I commenced to just speak freely and let my truth connect with you. And you showed me the commonalities in which you had already knew was coming. And it was the same, it was in an essence, it was me. And you had already saw that coming. And I was so thankful just for that masculinity to be there. And I had told you, like, when I saw that it was all guys on the retreat and I was the only one in Danny, I was like, whoa, like that was a big thing in my intention for even sharing it in the group. Like, I wanted everybody to come with an intention. Just don't just come on a retreat to, to meet each other. And that's great to having a physical, but have a full intention on why we're meeting and what we wanted to get from each other. And what my intentions was to go through my masculinity and to really, because the only thing I could think about was the aspects of men that I had been hurt through. And that was all that was coming up for me in definitions. And so that was coming up for me within myself. So in hindsight, I was having that block. And I wanted to get through that. That was my intention with coming through on the retreat, the full activation retreat, which is exactly what it was. So when we were out there and me seeing the dynamics of the different masculinities that was there, even with the femininity present, and just, I didn't know I was about to be a portal that night at all. And I just remember just the energies coming through me, and just it wasn't a human force, and I was aware of that. And I was aware that it was coming through from all the guys who were standing there with us. And to just be in that pain and to just feel my body going through all the pain, going through every chakra from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, which I could probably see like 50 chakras opening up and closing, and just to feel the protection and the essence that was there, and to hear you guys speaking to me was something that I don't have when I'm not in that space. So just opening myself up, and it's kind of crazy how like everything everybody has shared is something that I'm having a vision of the connection that it is to me. And I just was talking to Danny about this right before this started, which is Brother Curtis's goddess. And we were speaking on how when you can come in with an intention to just be open, you can have a blockage towards somebody, that person can have a jewel for you. Like that can be like a total puzzle piece that you've been looking for. But if you have a blockage toward that person in any way, color of the skin, the way they talk, any little petty thing can keep you from getting your jewels. And we talked about that too after the case. And as I was saying things, I felt myself with different languages. I felt myself with just different aspects of the feminine flowing through me. And all I could do was cry out for mother. And I didn't cry out for father because I felt that presence there. And I remember vaguely saying to you guys, like, oh, so this is what the masculine is. And I don't know why I said that. And I remember one of the brothers trying to have a dialogue with me, and me just going, ugh. Like that whole energy essence of the feminine, like, what are you telling me who you are for? And I know who you are. So it was just that that connection with self on that level, and being next to that water, and just us walking out there, and you saying before we walked out there, like, I saw something in the water, and that just, my antennas were just like, I want to go see the water, since Curtis saw something in the water. And as soon as we got out there and I sat on that sand, and everybody else was still standing up, but you know, I cop a squat everywhere. It doesn't really matter. And I copped the squat on that sand, and like really felt my root go into the earth, and just be connected around people who are with intention, wanted that connection. It was so healing. It was very healing. And it led the rest of my weekend. It led me through getting to know every masculine from their perspective, whether they were in whatever space they were in. It allowed me to accept them. So in hindsight, I was accepting myself, and I was reprogramming the definitions of what I thought a masculine was, of what had been given to me and what I was already had experienced. And I felt the restructure. I saw it in dreams. I actually saw myself in one of my dreams pick up my daughter, and we were actually leaving somewhere on a train, and got to a train, and it was a guy gave her a candy, and usually my old self would have been like, you know, angry at that guy. I would have been upset, that would have been me being upset with myself. But having that experience, and then every day me putting that intention in, like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And this is what we're doing, because this is what we're here to get. And this is what we're here to give. And we're here to give out that femininity as well, for whoever doesn't want to accept me how I come, oh fucking well, because I'm coming. And it's really them coming through me. And for like you to tell me later, like, you don't know if you heard me, and you were telling me, like, I don't know if you heard us or not, but we were actually calling out our mother's names, like ancestral names y'all were calling out when I was going through that experience. And I felt it, but I didn't hear it, because all I felt was pain. All I felt was pain. And I was in a thankful mode that I was in a space where you guys were really more than thoughtful. It's an essence that I can't even put into words. So now I see that now. And even with me coming home, I've been through so many different aspects of what I thought I left behind, but I didn't, because it's showing me that it's still there. It's showing me when I walk outside now. So remember, I was telling you before, like, I wasn't, like, dudes don't really come on to me no more like they used to, because I'm getting that aspect of myself together. But baby, this past 2 days, they've been and I've been like, ooh, okay, that's me trying to talk to me. And I had to, like, even collect myself with just what the ladies were just expanding on, us feeling everything, us seeing everything, and us having to tell ourselves, like, hey, that ain't our business. Get back over here. Like, that's not our stuff. So that's been repetitive with me. Even talking to Danny about that today, even before the call, I was telling her, like, man, like, that, knowing what's ours and what's not, and not having that emotional attachment to it, can keep me from going on so many roller coasters, because that's really where I am right now. And I'm honest with myself, and knowing where I am in my journey, and knowing that, yeah, this is where I'm at. This is me. And yes, I'm fixing that aspect of self. And I know that it's so much power and so much everything that's all around, that I have to be conscious of what's going on. Because when I fuck myself up now, I'm really messing myself up. Like, on a whole different level, I'm like really messing some stuff up. So it's like, but not really, because even if I
but,
go that way,
but,
it's gonna be uncomfortable, but I'm gonna still get there. So
no buts. You're gonna get there. We are there. We are there. No buts. You gotta give thanks for the master, the connection. Thank you, sister.
It's astounding how much I can always give, just like what you guys are saying, being able to receive. It's you got to be able to receive that, and it's so easy for me to give it out. It's so much like easy for me to be like, here, you take this, and then just leave. just give it out and just leave. It's so easy for me to do that. So just listening to you guys and being receptive and just holding space. Like I do be having stuff to say, but I'm such a student right now that I'm just receiving from what you guys are saying, because it gets to the point where I don't need to say anything. I just need to shut up and I just need to listen. It'd be that ancient part of me that be like, no, wait, it's the part coming next. You need to be quiet. And I'm humble enough to know to shut up and to receive what comes through. But I'm also aware that we are all connected, and I'm not the only one that feels what's going on, and everybody else is going to pick up, and the answers are going to still be answered anyway. So I just give so much thanks, and thanks for calling me out, Curtis. Anyway, I love you so much. I love us all, and
I
just give so much thanks for that.
And you are also the teacher, sis. You know,
Exactly.
Sometimes you may not realize that you're teaching, but when you're receptive, like, you are also the teacher. So thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, wow, that was powerful. Like I felt the whole experience.
Super,
very powerful.
Yeah, it was an intense experience, and I'm very thankful that, like I told Curtis, that he was there, because just as women, when we've been broken down by ourselves for so long in the matrix, and then we're trying to rebuild what we think we know, and we have to really just like rebuild that whole program. It's like I'm rebuilding myself from the scraps up into what I know is truth, because I feel it. Like when each one of you talk, I feel exactly what space you hold in my body. I feel you come out of my body when you're speaking, and it's just me having to just sit like until I can get my momentum going the way it needs to, because I'm not great at breath work. I'm not great at getting up every day doing a practice all the time. And this is just me being honest with myself and knowing that you guys are showing me how to do this. Like I'll tell Des all the time, like, I love you so much. Thank you so much for just coming through with whatever it is you got to come through with, because it's appreciated. Like, it's so much appreciate love, as the Honorable would say, appreciate love, because it's so much love in the appreciation, and we never want to think that we're even giving out any hate, because it's us. And I've done that with myself. Even when I think I want to give out some shit, it comes back around on me, and I purposely do that to push myself forward and being responsible for the energies that I'm giving out. And I automatically make it come back to me. Automatically it's coming back to me, even though the universe is going to do it anyway. But I consciously do it. I consciously know, okay, no, that's for me. Bounce it back. And I might get hit, and I might get messed up, and my destroyer energy might get a little wild, and I might have to balance out that creator aspect in me. But I have to know that they're both are needed, and I just got to figure out that balance. And looking at y'all is just amazing, and I'm just thankful for the space. So wholeness tribe.
Wholeness.
Aho.
Thanks, sis. I'm a little speechless.
Right.
Just want to feel into that. Thank you.
Right.
For sharing that. That was amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's a great experience to have. What to me, like, what came through, the image of just like, just like how they say the masculine energy, just like let Venus's dance. Like, if you ever see like when Venus is going around in the dance, and there comes a point that it needs to, well, she or he, whatever, needs to turn, and that's that force that she bounces against. You know, that's what that reminds me. I think I have one of the videos where it's showing Venus's dance as it goes around. It's making the flower, and Wholeness Tim. So I don't know what she's saying. He has to work.
Oh, okay.
He said he has to go get some.
Nice typo, Tim. Wholeness, brother.
Don't do that. My mind goes other places.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to leave discreetly, but since I unmuted, let me just say this is so meaningful to me. This has been so necessary. I have a lot to do, and I decided to take out this time to give some more things, and it has meant everything. Everyone on the call has spoken to me in a very significant way. I hate that Nakia ended with how she ended, because feelings of jealousy started coming up because I wasn't there. And I don't know how I, missed it. So the next time, please let me know, especially since I'm so close to South Carolina, if it was there. But this has just been, the world. So that, and I'm appreciative of the, anytime you're live, I'm there. So thank you all. And this is such a dramatic
So instead of you leaving on a low note, Tim, are you still doing the song? Like he's supposed to be doing a Christmas with Tim, right? Are we, well, are we gonna be singing? What happened with that?
So I'm putting together a presentation, a virtual presentation for this Sunday. And so it is called Christmas Magic. And ultimately what it is the children are the magic of the season. And it doesn't matter what you believe or what you don't believe, you still can get the principles of love, light, of giving, and of unity, which is what I think Christmas means. So, when you get the children telling their stories in the kids say the darndest things kind of way, and, expressing what they understand, Christmas to mean singing their own songs, telling their jokes. I'm editing even now, and all I'm doing is smiling. So when we talk about children and inner children, it is that kind of energy coming up, so just tune in if you care, if you want to. The links will be up there. And I look forward to doing this for every season if possible.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that would be amazing. So we've been talking for 2 hours. I have to be mindful that YouTube may not take this video.
Thanks.
Because it'll be like when I surround live, it's like 5 hours later, and we're
Oh, wait, this is going on YouTube? I had no idea.
No, sorry. I need to get your permission. No. So we have it live on Facebook. So that we have it live on Facebook on our abundance portals, and then we upload it into the YouTube. Our page has 50 people, so don't worry.
Okay, don't worry. No worries.
I
just didn't know.
We're good, guys. We're not there yet. We're still climbing the ladder.
Right.
Our page has 50 people, so just it is live on Facebook though. So and then there's 90 on the Facebook. So but yeah, I mean, it has been an amazing conversation. I and I know I have to end it sometime because it's 10 o'clock our time, which means we've been literally on for almost 2 hours.
I got to pack. I'm gonna be in Jersey tomorrow, so.
Yeah, Veronica's coming. Yeah. And yeah, so I'm inviting everybody back, where we can definitely have a topic and delve into it. It's been amazing. So I don't know.
Thank you.
This was amazing. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome. Likewise.
And if anyone's doing the whole upon, no, I'm saying, if anyone's doing that for the 21 days and it becomes something official, please let me know. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm very, very interested in doing that before the new year. I think that would be a good energy cleansing. And
so absolutely nothing official was about it. Tim, this
Well,
is just my own, yeah.
the
On
reason
my
why I
end,
don't,
it's not.
sure, the reason why I didn't do it official because I usually like mix it with my womb healing. However, like I can send you the recordings of the meditation. It's like two meditations. One was the mother line, and one was the father line. And then I explain like what you need to do like every day. I can do that. You know what I mean? I can, and then you go through it yourself. Like so, but if you know, like when I do it in the group, it's like the ladies and I, because I basically like if you've never taken me, I'm very strict with doing the work. You know, where it's like I want you to do it every day, and then of course as things come up, you can always contact me. Just so like you will know what's going on, and you'll have somebody to bounce off of. So I don't mind like just doing it with you. I could send you the whole write-up that I do with it.
Yeah, or accountability partners are great.
I think it's more than Tequila. A couple of the ladies are doing it.
Just link up for sure. Thank you so much, everybody for just coming into the space and sharing the space and sharing the love and just the deep essence of gratitude that we're all embodying here. It's absolutely amazing. Just feeling, from heart to heart, everything that has come through tonight has been absolutely the essence of just giving thanks and being the embodiment of that in every now moment that is gifted.
Love, 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 everybody.
Yes, sending so much love. Yes. Absolutely.
Everybody. Bye.
Wholeness.
All right.
Love you all.